Kamala Harris has given an official statement. She's answered an official question about reparations. She was doing an interview, and during the interview, she was asked to address the question of reparations, and she gave a very thorough and telling answer. Here's what she said.
What we need to do going forward. Look, first of all, we just need to speak truth about history, in spite of the fact that some people are trying to erase history and try and teach our children otherwise. We need to speak truth about the generational impact of our history, in terms of the generational impact of slavery, the generational impact of redlining, of Jim Crow law. I could go on and on and on. These are facts that have had impact. And we need to speak truth about it. And we need to speak truth about it in a way that is about deriving solutions. And frankly, I think that we, and part of that is studying it to figure out exactly what we need to do. But part of what we can do right now is, for example, what I'm talking about in terms of building an opportunity economy, which is addressing explicitly the obstacles that historically and currently exist and dealing with them. Student loan debt, medical debt, bias in home appraisals. What we need to do in terms of dealing with an issue that I have championed for years, Black maternal mortality, which is the fact that Black women are 3 to 4 times more likely to die in connection with childbirth than other women. And we know that the reasons for that include disparities that pre-exist her pregnancy, including disparities that exist in the system during her pregnancy. So all of those things must be addressed.
But do you have a position on whether that should happen, this commission should happen through executive order or via Congress?
I think Congress ultimately will have the ability to do this work. I'm not discounting the importance of any executive action, but ultimately Congress. Because if you're going to talk about it in any substantial way, there will be hearings, there will be a level of public education and dialogue that, and I think that was part of the spirit behind the congressional action thus far, to ensure that everyone can participate in this conversation in a way that elevates knowledge about history and the reference points that have that are the impetus of this conversation. Especially, again, when people are trying to deny history. When people are, so-called leaders are saying that enslaved people benefited from slavery. I mean, let's talk about the delta here in terms of the work that needs to be done. It's profound.
Madam Vice President, I want to...
So Kamala Harris has said a lot of things here, sort of. There's a way that she said a lot, and there's a way that she hasn't said anything. First, she says we need to acknowledge history. True. We all agree on that. And the next thing she says is, well, to acknowledge history is to dig deeper, and we need to study this issue. I don't disagree that we need to study the issue. You always need to study an issue. The problem is studying has become, in the United States political community, a punt. It's no longer should we give reparations or not. It's should we study reparations or not? And so the most principled and the most righteous and the most reasonable people are still forced onto the same side as the people who just want to do patchwork. Because, yeah, Kamala Harris is not on the anti-reparations side. None of us are on the anti-reparations side, for the most part, who occupy any space near the left. So it just becomes well, should we study it or not? Well, yeah, we should study it. But we've had so many conversations about studies. We've had so many bills come out of the House about studying reparations. At this point, it becomes a question of do we or do we not do it? The next thing is Kamala Harris says, in the meantime, what about this opportunity economy? Addressing issues, pipeline issues. I'm talking about like human pipeline issues, not addressing Black maternal morbidity rates, addressing access to capital, addressing technology, all these things. Agreed. We need those things, and those things will help to shrink the gap between those who have and those who don't. Those kinds of investments are exactly what we need in this country, but that ain't reparations. And we need to be very clear that that's not what reparations is. Reparations, as it's being asked and as it's being talked about, is about giving, where I sit, cash payments, but certainly some kind of payments, some kind of investment in the descendants of American slavery. It's that simple. So investing in public education is fine, but for who? Investing in roads and infrastructure, for who? These are the questions we have to ask as we talk about slavery. And so all of you people who thought Kamala Harris is down for reparations, you just got to wait a few months. No. What she said is they asked her directly, or Jaron asked her, should this be by executive order or should it be Congress? She could have said, look, if Congress don't do something, I'm doing it myself. That's what they be saying about healthcare. That's what they be saying about war. You could say that very easily. But she just says, it's something that Congress should be doing. And here's all the reasons why. I don't necessarily disagree with her that Congress should be taking the lead in this. But if Congress is drafting the bill, Congress is bringing in the issues, if Congress is managing everything, then it's just not a challenging issue for the president. Basically, what she's saying is, if Congress can get the bill to me, I'll sign it. That's what she said Al Sharpton 4 years ago. I'll sign it. But the problem is, most presidents, certainly every Democratic president, would sign a reparations bill if it gets there. The question is, what political capital are you willing to burn to get it there? This felt like a lot of double talk, and it sounded encouraging only to people who don't know the reparations issue or don't know how Congress works. Now, all that said, you have to ask yourself, is this the issue that I want to hang my hat on? Do I want to vote or not vote for Kamala Harris based on whether or not she's unequivocally, full-throatedly in support of reparations in the way that we've talked about it? And if not, what else is at stake? Like, is Donald Trump promoting reparations? The only party I know promoting reparations and who has been consistently promoting reparations is the Green Party. So everybody's Johnny come lately to this thing. The question is, what are you going to do when you get here? Right now, the Green Party still has an effective plan for this. I don't see an effective plan for reparations from Democrats or Republicans. The question again, though, is what do you want your outcome to be? If you feel like stopping Donald Trump is the most important thing in the world, then you might be okay with this reparation stance. With her, you might say, what, Kamala Harris ain't perfect, but it don't even matter. You might be like, she's awful, but it doesn't even matter. She's not as awful as Trump. I mean, these are all possibilities for how you might think about things. But it's important to know as you make your determinations, it's necessary for you to know where the candidates actually stand on reparations. And now you got it.